This film will shock you. If you have children in attendance today, you are advised to send them to the theatre lavatories immediately. A trained nurse is also in the lobby right now, who can assist anyone who may be disturbed by what you are about to learn in this film. This is the story of Dr. William Nutsack, a distinguished educator at Cambridge University. Dr. Nutsack uncovered unsettling information about UFOs in the NASA space program in 1967, while vacationing with his research partner Dr. William Bagg. Dr. Bagg was a contemporary of both Albert Einstein and Dr. William Groinpool from the University at Lancashire. Together with Dr. Bagg, Dr. Groinpool and fellow researcher Dr. William Testicle, they began to unravel a mystery that has both startled and alarmed the scientific community. In this film we also reveal the shocking facts uncovered by Dr. William Balls, who along with Dr. Nutsack, Dr. Bagg, Dr. Groinpool, Dr. Testicle and a fellow researcher, Dr. William Taint, have left both science and religion shaken worldwide. The controversial evidence you will hear in this film is not for the faint of heart. In fact, if you suffer from heart disease, diabetes, brain hemorrhaging, clogged bowels, irritable rectal itching, you are strongly advised to attend with the staff nurse right now, in the lobby of this theatre. What is that? Telephone? We're in the middle of doing the film. I can't take a telephonic call while we're filming the film. Hello?
Hey, this is Dave Smalls. I'm on lunch and I can talk about the flying saucer thing.
Sorry?
I'm on lunch and I can talk about the flying saucer thing.
I've got to call you back. We're in the middle of doing the film.
Huh?
We're filming the film right now. I can't talk.
Film? Sure, film. Not much time to do the film.
The UFO film. We're filming it as we speak. You're on film.
Look, I don't have a load of time if you want me to do the film.
Sorry?
Film. Not much time to do the film. Dave Smalls.
Did you say Dave Balls?
Smalls. Dave Smalls.
Balls?
David Smalls.
Dave Balls.
Smalls. Dave Smalls.
Dave Balls.
David Smalls. Dave Smalls. Just like that.
Are you the one from the NASA cafeteria, Dave Balls?
It's not the cafeteria and it's not NASA. It's Strategic Air Command, SAG.
Did you say Bagg, Dave Balls?
SAG.
Am I talking to Dave Balls from Bagg?
SAG. I said SAG.
Dave Saggy Balls.
Look, I don't have a load of time if you want me to do the film.
Film, a theatrical film, like a thing you go see in a film house.
Film.
Cinema,
Film.
theater.
Film.
I can't talk to you right now,
Film.
Dave Balls.
I said SAG.
Dave Saggy Balls. She will most likely ask you to remove your trousers and provide a prompt saline rinse of any areas that may be impacted by the shock, horror, disbelief or state of astoundment or arousal that you may be experiencing as a result of the controversial and distressing evidence we will reveal in this film. At the University of Berlin, Dr. Wilhelm Harden will also contribute his thoughts and ideas on the alien question. The University of Berlin is of course located in Germany, a country that was single-handedly responsible for 2 world wars. Although it's now considered improper to refer to them as Jerry, Krauts, squareheads and Nazis, you may occasionally hear these words used interchangeably during the course of this film. While we in Britain are Anglo-Saxons, which means we're also Krauts, squareheads and Nazis, old habits die hard and the Blitz was not that long ago. Of course, I digress and I wish to remind you that if you are prepared to remove your trousers, I suggest you move to the lobby immediately. The details we will reveal about UFOs, aliens and even the moon landing will distress many people. We were aware of this fact when we began making this film. As a result we consulted with Dr. William Bollocks at Oxford University along with his research associates, Dr. William Rocks, Dr. William Cobblers, Dr. William Goolies, Dr. Willem Gonads, Dr. William Nads, and Professor Stanley Family Jewels Man-Pouch, during the pre-production of this film. Dr. Stanley Family Jewels Man-Pouch, and his research partner, Dr. Stanley Nutbeard Yambag from the University of Scroatmeal at Ballsack on the Teabag have advised us that certain elements in this film could forever change everything we think about religion, science, humanity and even breakfast jams.
Here at the University of Berlin, where we are not Nazis, my associate Professor Ludwig von Bouncy Penis came into contact with material from a flying saucer and his hand needed to be amputated and also part of his brain. A large part of his brain was transplanted with the brain of a common monkey, and we conducted many not Nazi experiments on his brain centers. At the conclusion of the experiments, Ludwig had the IQ of the typical man from Cleveland, Ohio.
Chilling details about UFOs, flying saucers, alien craft, visitors from another world and odd-shaped plants has recently been disclosed by the University of Berlin, which is in the former Nazi Germany. The facts and figures revealed in a series of interviews, photographs, computer data and quickly drawn pictures on bar napkins has shook the square-headed scientists in former Nazi Germany to their very core. It's been my experience that Nazis are not usually easily distressed, but their icy cold demeanor and abrasive personalities were quickly put on edge by what they learned. Again, a nurse is standing by in the theater lobby, and it's a simple matter of removing your trousers for a full examination, should you require it. The fact is, UFOs, flying saucers, spaceships, flying discs, pancake-shaped craft, interstellar beam ships, and alien visitors are real. They are here now and they're breeding with the women of Earth. The startling testimony of Mrs. Audrey Porkrow, penile implant of Northwest Lambeth Road in Buckshire-on-Gland, attests to this shocking fact, as interviewed by the BBC's Colin Hadjob-Smith.
It's true, I was visited by aliens. It was a Monday evening, and I had just made a piece of toast. I like to put a little Stilton cheese on it. I enjoy that very much. I think this has kept me out of a lot of relationships I could have had, because it's really quite an essential part of my toast experience. If I don't have it on hand, I tend to withdraw socially and touch myself in ways that aren't always considered socially acceptable. One particular fellow, I'll call him Rochester, well, we were getting along quite nicely really. There was one night however when there wasn't any Stilton on hand, and I can't say that I behaved very well with him at all. In fact, if I didn't know that he suffered from the occasional homicidal rage, I can't say I would have governed myself accordingly at all. Regardless, I pulled away from him and found myself shouting that his breath smelled of catfish, and I found it very unpleasant. The lack of having any cheese for my toast was driving feelings of despair that were quite wild in retrospect. As a result, my relationship with Rochester quickly ended. I've put it all behind me now, but yes, that Monday night, while I was having my toast, aliens started coming round. They were out in the yard. I put my soiled panties on the step to air out at night, but if I leave them out too long, the neighborhood cats start coming round, and I'd gone to fetch them when the aliens arrived. I need to tell you that those same aliens bred with me. I don't recall if they asked if I was an Earth woman or not, but after several intense sessions, there is no doubt in my mind that aliens are breeding with the women of Earth.
That's quite startling and shocking. Did they communicate with you at all?
Not much really. But I do think he said his name was Glenn.
So it was mainly about the breeding?
It was all about the breeding, yes.
Would you like a piece of cheese?
For those of you who are currently upset, distressed or unhinged, I'd like to remind you that the nurse is available in the lobby and will also be completing personal examinations at her discretion. For an extra £3, she'll also do her best to ensure a happy ending. £6 gets you the full treatment, and you'll also get a fruity drink and a caramel cake. We've got a clown available if you've got children with you, and full colour bingo cards if you're with your wife or mum. But for those you who remain in the theatre, here's the shocking true story of Charles Wankme Hardawini's ballsack of Cornholeshire, North Hampshire, as interviewed by the BBC.
It's true, I was visited by aliens. It was a Monday evening, and I had just made a piece of toast with a little piece of cheese on it because I find that it eases my tension. I enjoy that very much. In fact, one might say, cheese is my closest and dearest friend. At times this has interfered with many of my relationships, but it's quite an essential part of my life. It's also perhaps worth noting that I tend to withdraw socially without any cheese. It's just a little bit, I suppose not much more than the average mouse might eat, but I do crave it. I'll even touch myself. in a completely inappropriate manner when I'm without it. I've also found myself peeing in bottles near the neighborhood school. Speaking of relationships, there was one person, I'll call them Rochester. We really were getting on quite nicely. He was a professional hose fitter in Leeds. I'd had a bit of trouble, and after asking around, he managed to fit my hose quite nicely. There was one particular night, however, when there wasn't any cheese for my toast. He was an amateur boxer and I knew that he could give me a real pounding, so I minded my manners, but the lack of cheese had really put me on edge. I found myself shouting that his breath smelled of catfish, and I found it very unpleasant. I was lucky to get out of there with my life. As a result, my relationship with Rochester quickly ended. It was about a month later when the aliens appeared. They were out by the rubbish bin where I keep some of my soiled dainties to air out when the evening is cool. Nothing too frilly or swishy, quite discreet. One pair has a cow pattern, and I think there's another pair that features points of interest in Paris. I remembered to go out and get my dainties. If they sit out there too long, the neighborhood cats come around and start mucking about with them. I was picking up a particular pair that is adorned with stylized images of various root vegetables, and that's when I saw a couple of aliens standing over by the gate.
But you're a man, obviously.
Yes, I am a man.
And so there wouldn't be any breeding for you?
I can't say that's true. There was quite a bit of it, actually.
But quite obviously you're a man, and if there was any sort of sexual relations with these aliens, it would be via your bum.
Yes, I am a man.
And did they communicate with you in any way?
Well, one of them gave me a coin that featured the face of an American singing cowboy, Roy Rogers.
You mentioned the dainties. Do you really have a pair that features stylized prints of root vegetables?
Yes.
Fascinating.
Flying saucers, men from Mars, frightening imagery that is the stuff of dark dreams and unsettling visions. If you feel that your heart may have stopped, or if you'd like a quick one with a bird that really knows how to throw a party, I might remind that the nurse is available in the lobby. This is especially significant as we turn to the chilling story of Arthur Dale Donald Derry Dingleback Boiler, a man who has spent a lifetime tormented by alien abduction and full-on sexual mucking about by strange visitors from another world.
I was sitting at home doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, in the days previous I had even considered taking poison because I was so bored. So I got out of this cardboard packing crate and went out to the sitting area to have a look at television. That's when I realized there were a couple of aliens standing out in the garden. I put on a pair of slacks and went out to have a better look.
Are these the same slacks you have on now?
Yes.
They're quite nice.
Well, thank you. I do try to take pride in my appearance.
I'd say they hug you quite nicely in all the right spots.
That's very reassuring. I feared they were a bit snug in the bottom.
Oh no, not at all. I quite like it like that. Your hindquarters were the first thing I noticed. The slacks accentuate that quite nicely.
Well, I'm sure we can explore that later, but thereafter I went out to the garden to have a look at these aliens. I thought they were rather strange individuals. One of them seemed to be wearing a diaper and there was poo in it. He wanted to take a photograph of me and asked me if I wanted to poke his diaper with a stick. I don't have a lot of experience with interstellar travel, and I admit my knowledge of the universe is quite slim, but this struck me as odd behavior for someone who was a visitor from another planet.
That's fascinating. Were you able to ascertain if the diaper was something he was wearing before he arrived on Earth?
I think it was something he got at Marks and Spencer because there were little lambs on them.
Was the diaper obviously poopy, or did you really have to look closely?
Oh, he quite clearly soiled himself in front of me.
Fascinating. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about this poopy diaper?
Well, I suppose I cherish the interaction with a being from another world, but he could have left the poo part out of it.
We do hope you're enjoying tonight's theatrical performance. And just to remind you that tonight's program is sponsored by Pim, the Love Gum. It's a party in a packet. Or as the jingle goes, first she goes for Pim and then she goes for him. Boys, if she knows you've got Pim on you, she'll have her hand in your pocket soon enough. Pim, the Love Gum. If you don't like Pim and you don't like gum, you've got something wrong with you. Boys and girls, we know you love fudge and we've got gobs of it out in the lobby. Best of all, our fudge is homemade by retired factory women in their own kitchens with their own hands. Parents, fudge is consistently chosen by doctors as the preferred treat for children. Refined sugar, butter and cream are the essential building blocks of strong bones, healthy teeth and sound minds. At less than 50p a packet, you simply cannot afford to not buy at least 3 packets. Boys and girls, we have so many flavors of fudge available, we just know you will want to sample a little of each. Maybe mum or dad has fallen asleep, it's a perfect time for fudge. Simply reach in dad's pocket and see if he's got a crisp pound note waiting for you, or mum likely has the laundry money in her handbag. Neither mum nor dad will mind when they know you've spent the money on fudge. It's the preferred children's treat, recommended by doctors as part of the essential building blocks of strong bones, bright teeth and a positive mental outlook. If your parents aren't with you, perhaps there's an older gentleman or lonely old woman who would be more than thrilled to have a grandchild for the day. Go ask them to spot you a pound for fudge. It's the only candy actually mentioned in the King James Bible. Speaking of the Bible, boys and girls, come visit our confectionery corner in the lobby and get a free kitten. We're giving away kittens all this week to the lucky boys and girls who can recite a Bible verse by heart. Now, we know that you may not know a Bible verse and we don't want to leave any of the little ones out, and we want every boy and girl to go home with a free cat. When visiting the confectionery corner, simply point at a kitten and then point to your head, indicating to our warm and helpful staff that you're mentally retarded and therefore are incapable of reciting anything. We want to make sure that no child feels slighted or left out, so come to the confectionery corner and get a free kitten or even 2. Every child gets a kitten. It's our way of showing how much we love children. We would also like to take this time in association with our local police constabulary and Scotland Yard to remind everyone that the rumours and stories suggesting that a maniac killer hides in our theatre lavatories is completely untrue. We have never had an incident of poisoning or strangulation at this theatre. Several years ago, some of our projectionists were involved in a group feel-up session, but they have since been removed from this location. We also had a problem with certain men doing curious things with our popcorn sacks, but that too has been remedied to the full satisfaction of our local police. So there it is, mother, father, boys, and girls. You can enjoy a nice cool drink from our confectionery corner knowing that there has never been a recorded incident of poisoned beverages being served here. Secondly, the woman that was found dead in our lavatory did not die at the hands of a strangulation killer, but simply fell down and struck her head on one of the porcelain fixtures. We have it on relatively good authority that she'd been into the drink. The cinema is always a safe and wonderful place to spend your day. Enjoyed the show.
And now we will move to the story of Lady Agnes Ballclamp Shockcock, the third Dame of Dong, and the shockingly sexual abduction of her from her bedchambers by beings from outer space. On the evening of September 17, 1966, Dame Ballclamp Shockcock lay sleeping in her bed when she was aroused by the light beams of several flying saucers outside her bedroom window. In this exclusive footage, for the first time, we will witness the hypnotic regression and full details of her terrifying abduction ordeal. You're about to witness famed psychologist and hypnotic regression expert, Dr. Papu Beaver, as he puts Lady Agnes into a full trance and we relive her entire shocking story with her.
Now, Agnes, I am Dr. Papu Beaver. I am a trained psychologist and hypnotist. Also, I am an avid researcher of the flying saucers. You are here today because you were on one of the flying saucers. Is that correct?
What?
I said, I'm Dr. Papu Beaver. I'm a trained psychologist and I'm also a hypnotist, and today we are going to talk about the flying saucer abduction incident that you experienced.
Oh, that. I thought you were here to clean the carpet. Yes, I was abducted onto a flying saucer and then felt up by the aliens, in a sexual manner.
Which carpet?
The one you're standing on. If you'll look down, you'll see a carpet. It's that carpet.
Oh yes, it's very nice. I see there a couple of spots over on the corner. It was your dog?
No, Spot was my uncle's dog. He wasn't very imaginative. My dog is Boswell.
Ah yes, named after the famous director of Citizen Kane.
Can we please complete whatever you've come here to do?
Yes, of course. We will be doing the hypnotic regression session so that we can learn more about what happened on this flying saucer you were on. We will begin with a repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
No. You will only repeat after me after I tell you what to repeat.
Alright. You tell me what to repeat.
Okay.
Okay. Is that okay? Or do you want me to try doing it with your ridiculous accent?
We didn't start yet. No, Agnes. You should only repeat what I tell you to repeat. You shouldn't repeat everything I say, only the things I tell you to say. Now close your eyes and relax every muscle in your body. Say this: I am getting sleepy.
I am getting sleepy.
I am relaxing.
I am relaxing.
I will listen closely to all the words of Dr. Papa Beaver and I will do what Dr. Papa Beaver says.
I will listen closely to all the words of Dr. Poo Poo Beaver and I will do what Dr. Poo Poo Beaver says.
No, Agnes. What is this Poo Poo Beaver? I am Papa
Beaver.
Papa Beaver.
Paper Beaver.
Papa Beaver.
Beebel Peebel.
Beaver.
Peeper Booper.
Papa Beaver.
Beaver Poople.
Papa Beaver.
Pa Poo Beaver.
Papa Beaver.
Papa Beaver.
Papa Beaver.
Dr. Poo Pop Beaver.
Repeat after me.
Repeat after me. Beaver Poople.
Hello?
That was the wrong clip, lad.
I'm quite aware of that, and it's happened right at the most pivotal and climatic part of the film.
Well, lad, that Lady Agnes Twat isn't the real deal. She's bats, she's balmy, she's as mad as a hatter. We interviewed her in our last film.
Film? It's a film. Get it right, Duncan.
Film? Yes, in our last film we interviewed her and she claimed to have psychic communication with a mackerel, and a stinging nettle, and a pterodactyl named Lawrence.
Why didn't you tell me this before we started filming?
I thought you woulda knew.
Well, that's just great. Great. Thank you so much. I have audiences sitting in theaters expecting a spectacular and truly awe-inspiring film, and you've stuck me with footage of a lady who spoke with a mackerel.
Don't forget the pterodactyl. That whole thing was much worse, actually. She was wearing a pair of hip waders and speaking Romanian.
Duncan, the film is ruined. I'm ruined. I'll never make another film again, and my reputation as a filmmaker is destroyed.
Easy, lad, easy. I have an idea. To make a good film you just need to make sure it all makes sense. If it makes sense and has a deeper meaning that nobody will fucking understand anyway, then it's a great film, and splendiferous filmmaking.
What does that even mean?
Just read the bloody card, lad.
The Dawn of Man. What the hell was that? That's not filmmaking. You can't end a film like that. I want that out of my film.
I'm sorry, lad. I can't do that. Come on, it's better than Kubrick. See? That was an absolutely smashing ending. Luke lad. Now there's a baby floating around too. It's all just grand. You're gonna win an Oscar.
Oh, just fuck off.